All right, just a quick book review. I'm not even done with this book, but I got up to chapter 13, and chapter 13 is it just get crazy right there. Man, I would say with this book, so let me just go. So the name of the book is The Dead Are Arising. It came out October the 20th. This October the 20th. So it just came out by Payne and Tamara Payne. So Payne started writing the book. He was doing the research, talking to anybody that knew Malcolm X, people from from his childhood to during when he was coming up, criminal past, his time during the nation, and after that he talked to anybody he could about Malcolm X. But the interesting thing, and the thing why this book is starting to take off, is because people are starting to read about the meeting that he had with the Ku Klux Klan. Now, again, I'm not somebody who like to tell everything about the book, because I want anybody to be encouraged to go out and get it. I would just tell y'all this, period. Just buy this book. The way that Payne wrote the book, it's is awesome. His writing, it just carries you through. And like I said, I haven't even finished it, but I had to stop after reading chapter 13 about his meeting with the Ku Klux Klan. I just had to say this and say, all right, let me just do this part of the review and I'll finish up. But with this book here, man, like the beginning, okay, but the author, Payne, he been researching since 1990, somewhere around that time. So it's been almost 30 years of research. He passed away in 2018, and his daughter actually finished the book, Tamara, which is very nice. Tamara Payne, she finished up the book for her father, and then they put it together, and it just came out. Was it been 10 days, 11 days now? So just pick it up. But about the meeting, it's just incredible, because especially now it's important because of everything that's going on now with people meeting with Trump, with the thing with Ice Cube, and meeting with Trump people, and the thing with Lil Wayne and other people. It's like you gotta, my view on it is that you gotta speak to who who you're dealing with. You can't just not have any communication. Even world leaders, they at least speak to each other. They don't agree, but they will at least speak to one another. And you can speak and disagree. Because actually, even when because the way it, all right, I don't want to give it all up, but I'll say this: the way it was that Elijah Muhammad was actually writing with JB Stone. I believe it is JB. Let me see. Oh, so I don't get this thing mixed up. But he was writing with one of the Klan's members, and during the writing, they were going back and forth talking about different things, the differences. Where is it? Yeah, Stoner. There we go. Yeah, JB Stoner, which was he was the Ku Klux Klan. He was a Christian Knights. The one of the Grand Masters. What was he? Let me just tell you exactly what it is. Like I said, I'm not the smartest person in the world. My research is just that's the Imperial Wizard of the Christian Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. There we go. So that's in chapter 13 as well. But anyway, he goes into it, and they started talking about how Elijah Muhammad was writing with him, and they were going back and forth talking about, well, they were saying, well, the issue with black men is that they always want to get with a white woman. They don't feel like successful until they get with a white woman. They're trying to mix with us, and he went into, all that. They just want our white women. And then Elijah Muhammad came back. This is some highlights. Elijah Muhammad came back with, well, if we, like as if he because the JB Stoner was trying to say, like, as if white women were so desirable, they're more desirable than black women. Elijah came back with, well, if that's the case, why were y'all raping our women? Why white men always historically during slavery and even after, raping black women? And and constantly trying to go after them. So if that's the case, if you have access to all these beautiful white women, why do y'all still want to go after and get, black women? And it's obvious because, look at all us, we all are mixed, now, because a lot of that was slavery and even after. So, but anyway, but they went into that. But some of the more telling part of that chapter, and that chapter is deep. Like y'all have to read. I had to read it twice. And they just went into like some of their differences, the things that they agreed on, the things that what they agreed on was that they both didn't agree with the races mixing, the Nation of Islam and the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan wanted the Nation of Islam to agree with not integrating, and what the Nation of Islam said that they want to be separated. So it was separation and and integration, and that was the the argument. So the Nation of Islam said, well, we going down there, we're going to talk about separation, a complete separation. The Ku Klux Klan at that time, with the ministers they were talking to in that group, they said that they didn't care either way. But it got really deep because they went into the different things that they really wanted. Well, what else did you want? And they were getting into about like, we don't want blacks mixing with whites. We want y'all to stay over there. We stay over here. Nation of Islam was cool with that. Elijah Muhammad definitely wanted that. But then the Ku Klux Klan said that they believed that Martin Luther King was an enemy of Nation of Islam's because of how Malcolm X talked about Martin Luther King. They figured like he was an enemy of the nations, just like he's an enemy of the Ku Klux Klan. So they actually were trying to broker a deal, to try to get Martin Luther King, trying to get information through the Nation of Islam to get Martin Luther King hit. And this information that Les Payne had put out there, the information, it came through Jeremiah X, who was the minister of the Atlanta chapter over in during that time period anyway, with the Nation of Islam, and other people who can attest to the meeting. But that was one of the things. And Malcolm didn't agree with that part, as far as the giving them information, so they can deal with, Martin Luther King. Malcolm didn't agree with that. But Elijah wanted to keep pushing, as far as getting the Ku Klux Klan to help them with getting land and help them with businesses and that sort of thing. So the things that the nation wanted, where that Malcolm and Jeremiah was negotiating for Elijah, saying that what we want is land. We want the Ku Klux Klan to help us get the land. And we also want them to not interfere when we get the land. And for that, we'll keep everything separated. Y'all will be separate. We'll be separate. And we can go from there. But there was a lot with that. Like I said, I don't want to give up that whole chapter, but you got to read it. It's deeper than even what I'm saying. You pick it up. I'm surprised they don't talk about this book even more. That part of it alone, and plus everything he went into with, Malcolm's childhood. And of course, you always had Alex Haley's, book. But this is another version of it that actually is deep. It's another version of almost Alex Hayes, like it's almost a mirror version of it, but it's something that it's just spoken differently. It's something that I think anybody would. It's a page turner. This book is awesome. Like I said, I'm not done. I had to stop after that. It's so much more in that, but it was just the way that the Ku Klux Klan was talking with the nation with the Ku Klux Klan, how he was negotiating and talking. You just, I don't know, it's like you could feel it. You could almost feel it, especially now. It's just weird with this book coming out now, and that part of it that a lot of people didn't know about, that 1961 meeting with the Ku Klux Klan and Malcolm X and Jeremiah X, and and what they were trying to brokerage and what they were trying to do. And it was other things after that, other deals that they were working with the Ku Klux Klan, like down south, they couldn't get a black lawyer down there to represent one of the black ministers down there, so they had to use their connection through the Ku Klux Klan to get that Ku Klux Klan lawyer to represent that minister of the Nation of Islam. It was a lot. I haven't heard that story. I knew about something about Elijah speaking with the Ku Klux Klan. I remember hearing about that through the stuff with Malcolm, but I didn't know about all of that other stuff. That's even new to me. And especially the way that Les Payne broke it down. That's something that everybody will want to look at and get into, especially now. I know I keep saying especially now, but pick it up. This book here, like I said, I'm gonna do a whole book review on it when I finish the book. But I just had to say that part, cause that chapter alone, I had to read that chapter twice, and the way that they were going into it, it was just different deals that they were working as far as with the cattle and the land and everything with the Ku Klux Klan. And the Ku Klux Klan actually had gave them one of their, Jeremiah X, one of their cards while he was traveling through the South, so he wouldn't get bothered by the state troopers or anybody like that, or anybody down there. And if he showed that Ku Klux Klan card, they just, passed him. He got stopped plenty of times, and he showed that card. That was the end of it. And they had to work out signals or whatever to know that where the messages was coming from, if it was coming from the nation or coming from Ku Klux Klan. So yes, it was like I said, it was a lot. But the way he wrote it, you felt like you were there. He draw you in. That's how it was. You usually get sucked into it because you could just see the people, and he's describing the gestures of the people, and how like one of the characters, like, oh yeah, he looked over at the other members of the clan and turned back, and they all smirked, or it was just you could he was painting that picture along with those historical facts that we don't, at least I didn't know about it, at least not in that detail. So like I said, it's nice to learn something new. I read a lot, and sometimes I feel like I, know a lot, but it's nice to read something new. So anyway, but pick up the book. You could get it from, I mean, of course, Amazon has it. It's a little expensive, this book, but just what you get out of it is not. I actually got it through Books A Million. I'm a member of Books A Million. One of the Books A Million and Laurel are actually going out of business, so they got that 30% off, depending on the book, 30% off, plus if you're a member, the 10%. So something like that. I think it may be 20%, and then the extra 30%. It's something like that. I forget, but it was the price. It broke it down where it made sense to to buy it that way. It was actually cheaper than Amazon after everything with that particular store. I don't know how it is at the other Books A Million, but anyway, yep, pick up the book. But anyway, I'm gonna do a whole review when I'm after I read this book, and that's a huge book, by the way. So all right, yep, talk to y'all. Yep, KSK Reviews. Like, share.